Right now, as you watch this, millions of people are sitting alone in their homes, scrolling endlessly through feeds that promise connection, but deliver only emptiness. They are the perfect prey. And the predators know exactly how to find them. The pandemic didn't just isolate our bodies. It shattered our social connections, and left psychological wounds that are still bleeding. Studies show that 61% of adults now report severe loneliness. That's not just a statistic, that's an army of vulnerable minds. When you're lonely, your brain literally changes. Your judgment becomes clouded. Your desperation for belonging overrides your natural defenses. Modern society has created the perfect breeding ground for manipulation. Social media promises connection, but delivers comparison and envy. Traditional communities have crumbled, extended families scattered, religious institutions abandoned. The scaffolding of human connection has collapsed. And in this wasteland of broken bonds, the cult recruiters prowl like wolves sensing wounded prey. They don't want the confident and connected. They hunt for specific traits, the empathetic souls who feel others' pain as their own. The idealistic minds searching for meaning in a world that seems to offer none. The intelligent questioners who think they're too smart to be fooled. The recent trauma survivors, still raw from loss, betrayal, or life-shattering change. Their defenses are down, their need for healing desperate. If you recognized yourself in any of these descriptions, you're not weak, you're human. But you need to understand what's coming. Building on what we covered, let's expose their first weapon. Step 1 of their formula: complete isolation. They don't start by locking doors. They start by making you want to close them yourself. First, they identify your support network. Every friend, every family member becomes a threat to neutralize. They whisper poison about those who love you most. Your family doesn't understand you. Your friends are holding you back. They create artificial conflicts. Suddenly, every conversation with loved ones becomes an argument. They schedule your life completely. Every free moment filled with group activities, meetings, obligations. Physical relocation is the masterstroke. Move in with us. Join our commune. Leave everything behind. Your phone becomes monitored. Your mail gets filtered. Your internet access restricted. They manufacture emergencies that require your complete attention. Crises that conveniently isolate you further. Your old identity markers disappear. Old clothes, personal items, anything connecting you to your former life. Sleep deprivation becomes your new normal. Exhausted minds cannot think critically or resist. Financial control seals your cage. They manage your money, your job, your economic freedom. Within months, the group becomes your entire universe, your only source of human connection and validation. The isolation chamber is complete. You're trapped not by walls, but by manufactured dependency. Now they've cut you off from your support system. You're isolated, vulnerable, perfect for phase 2. Suddenly, you're drowning in affection. Messages flood your phone. People remember your birthday, your favorite coffee, your deepest fears. This is love bombing. Overwhelming attention designed to flood your brain with dopamine and oxytocin. You've never felt so understood, so valued, so completely seen by a group of people. But here's the sinister part. While showering you with praise, they're also creating problems. Your old friends don't understand you anymore. Your family seems distant and judgmental. Suddenly, every relationship outside the group feels hollow, meaningless, wrong. The group whispers that your depression is getting worse. Your anxiety is spiking. You need help. But look, they're the only ones offering solutions. The only ones who truly care. Your brain becomes addicted to their validation. Their approval becomes your oxygen. Every text from them triggers a hit of euphoria. Every moment without contact feels like withdrawal. They've manufactured both the poison and the antidote. The crisis and the cure. You're no longer thinking clearly. You're thinking emotionally. Desperately, exactly how they want you. But this emotional dependency is just preparing you for the final phase. The complete destruction of who you once were. Now comes the most devastating phase. Building on the isolation and emotional manipulation we covered, the cult launches its final assault on your very sense of self. This is the identity destruction protocol. Every belief, every value, every piece of who you thought you were, gets systematically dismantled. They start with your core beliefs. Your political views, your spiritual convictions, your moral compass. All of it becomes evidence of your old, flawed thinking, your past relationships, toxic influences that held you back, your family traditions, primitive programming that prevented your growth. Every accomplishment you are proud of gets reframed as ego. Every mistake becomes proof that your old way of thinking was fundamentally broken. Then comes the confession phase. You're pressured to share your deepest shames, your darkest secrets, your most painful memories. They call it healing. They call it purification. But what they're really doing is collecting ammunition to use against you later. Every secret you share becomes a chain. Every vulnerability you expose becomes a weapon they can turn against you if you ever try to leave. The shame becomes overwhelming. You start to believe that without the group you're nothing. That your old self was worthless and broken. That's when they offer you salvation. A new identity. A clean slate. But this rebirth comes with a price. Complete loyalty to their doctrine. Your new identity isn't yours at all. It's a carefully crafted persona designed to serve the group's needs, not your own growth. You adopt their language, but there's ancient armor against these modern predators. 2,000 years ago, philosophers discovered the ultimate defense. The Stoics understood something cult leaders fear most. An unbreakable mind cannot be conquered. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, wrote his defense against manipulation. Quote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is mental sovereignty. The cult's first weapon becomes powerless when you own your thoughts completely." Epictetus, born into slavery, discovered freedom that no master could steal. He taught the dichotomy of control. Some things are within your power, everything else is not. Your thoughts, your values, your responses. These belong to you alone. Others, opinions, external events, even your reputation. Not your domain. When you truly grasp this distinction, love bombing becomes meaningless theater. But the deepest protection comes from building unshakable self-worth from within. The Stoics knew your value doesn't come from others, approval or group membership. It comes from your character, your virtue, your commitment to wisdom and justice. This internal foundation cannot be shaken by manufactured crises or false emergencies. Armed with Stoic wisdom, you become immune to the three-step formula we've exposed. Now comes the most crucial part. Recognizing the trap while you're still in it. The first warning sign is isolation disguised as elevation. They tell you you're special for leaving others behind. Second warning. Your critical thinking is being replaced with group thinking. Questions become betrayal. Third. Your identity is dissolving. You can't remember who you were before them. The resistance begins with one simple act. Start asking questions again. Reconnect with your pre-cult relationships. They remember who you really are. Document your own thoughts privately. Your authentic voice still exists beneath their programming. If someone you know is trapped, don't attack their beliefs. Attack their isolation instead. Stay consistently present in their life. Cults fear your persistent, unconditional love. Don't argue doctrine. Instead, remind them of who they were before. Recovery means rebuilding your decision-making muscles. Start with small choices daily. Remember, they targeted your loneliness because they feared your strength. Your independence was never weakness. It was always your greatest weapon. The Stoics knew this truth. No one can enslave a mind that chooses its own thoughts. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button, and subscribe for more.